Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Sunday afternoon football review for round 20 of the NRL. We saw two games of football this afternoon up there at Suncorp Stadium behind closed doors. No fans are allowed in due to the small lockdown up there in Queensland until Tuesday. We saw the Newcastle Knights defeat the Canberra Raiders 34 points to 24. And we just saw the Melbourne Storm beat the Penrith Panthers 37 points to 10. We still do have the Dragons-Rabbitohs game on at 6:25 p.m, which is about 25 minutes away. So I thought I'd get these two games out of the way now and review the Dragons-Rabbitohs game later on. So let's get into the review for the first game of the day, the Knights over the Raiders. Now, I tipped Newcastle in my tipping video, and I was a bit worried about tipping Newcastle with the 50-50, obviously a big 50-50 with Mitchell Pearce. Whether he would play it on, he did not play, and it didn't matter because Newcastle were far too good for the Canberra Raiders today up there at Suncorp Stadium. And we'll get into the game now. I want to address something really quickly, which I'm a little bit confused about. Before kick-off, when the players walk out onto the field, the players that were in the starting side and on the bench had to walk out there wearing face masks. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? There is no fans at the game. There is no virus in Suncorp Stadium. Everyone is scanned, tested, all that when they come into the venue. Yet they have to walk out onto the field with mask on and take the mask off. And then the players that are on the bench have to wear the mask till they come on the field. What an absolute joke that is. I mean, if you have a look at Elliott Whitehead, when he came on the field, took the mask off, I thought he was going to collapse. He looked absolutely gone. It was ridiculous. Now, I know they're under a lot of very tough lockdown restrictions, but my God, walking out in the field with a mask on, then have to take it off. What is the point in that? How stupid is that? It just made no sense to me, and it just goes to show that the Queensland Health and the Queensland government are just completely dumb and clueless. But I thought that was really, really dumb from having to force players to walk out onto the field with a mask on, take it off, and the bench players are going to wear the mask. Are you kidding me? What does the world come to? It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, I'm surprised Elliott Whitehead didn't collapse on the field. Seriously, he looked out of breath before kickoff. And then, 5th minute, Newcastle started the game very, very well. Kalen Ponga, our left edge of Newcastle today, was just absolutely on fire. It was very hard to stop. Ponga, left edge, got the ball to Bradman Best. He gave it to Anari Chihuahua. He bumped off Jordan Rapana. Elliott Whitehead wasn't able to get there. And Anari Chihuahua scores the first try of the game for the Knights. Pretty soft defence there from the Canberra Raiders. Newcastle 6-0 after 5 minutes. And then in the 8th minute, again, Newcastle's left edge, left side attack. Ponga to Bradman Best. Harley Smith-Shields got exposed. It was a very good try to the Newcastle Knights. Great try, Bradman Best. Knights 12-0 after 8 minutes. And then in the 20th minute, Jake Clifford, crossfield bomb over to Kurt Mann. He leaps over Jared Croker. Croker was just standing there, man. He looked so lost. Newcastle 18-0 after 20 minutes gone in the game. Knights looking really good. And then in the 29th minute, the Canberra Raiders finally score. Hodgson at first receiver, which was very nice, to Rapana. Over the top to Harley Smith-Shields. He scores in the corner. And then Newcastle 18-6 up, and then it was like Jordan Rapana was like giving a celebration. Harley Smith-Shields had his head like on Harley Smith-Shields' penis or something. It looked ridiculous. There's a photo on the NRL roast on Instagram. It looks disgusting. It looks wrong. I don't know if Harley Smith-Shields was trying to shield Rapana's cock. I don't know, but I found it very, very weird, very, very awkward. It was very weird, I've got to say. And then in the 39th minute, Newcastle, this really hurt Canberra before half-time. Ponga to, Ponga, he beat Sebastian Chris. Hang on, what happened here? Let me just read this. Ponga to Best. Chris can't hang on to Bradman Best. Best gets it up, offload inside to Lanari Tuwala, and he scores a double. Very soft try. Canberra's defence there once again. Very, very ordinary. Half-time, Newcastle 22 points to 6. Mate, Canberra were looking really, really ordinary. Newcastle were in complete control. The left-hand side was just dominating. Canberra looked so bad in defence. I think Sebastian Chris ended up getting dropped at one point. They bring on Matthew Tomoko. So if you're not going to be able, if you're not going to make your tackles, and that thing happens, and someone's going to take the blame for it. And Sebastian Chris was dropped, I believe. And then second half, Canberra, good start in the second half there. Josh Papali, there was a lot of passes from Canberra on the right hand side, and Sam Williams ends up throwing it to Josh Papali. He ends up scoring for the Raiders. Newcastle 22-12. 52nd minute, Knights get a penalty. Jake Clifford penalty goal. Knights 24-12. And then again, left-hand side from Newcastle, Ponga to Anabi Tuala. He collects his hat-trick. Knights 28-12. Ponga off the scrums, goes himself and scores. Knights 34-12. And then Canberra Raiders with a couple late tries there. Jack White grab a kick to Elliot Whitehead. Back to Jack White, and then he runs. And then Hudson Young ends up scoring for the Raiders. Knights 34-18. And then with about a minute to go, Emre Guler ends up scoring for the Raiders. And at full time, Newcastle have beaten Canberra 34 points to 24. Now, Canberra, they were very disappointing. I expected them to be a lot better than this. Jack White went missing. He had a really poor game. And Jack White's got to step up, man. And, he's the half of that side. He's the 5'8", even though he plays like a halfback. And, Josh Hodson's doing a lot of first receiver stuff. And, Sam Williams isn't doing a whole lot. Now, Jordan Rapana can play fullback all he wants. He can make his run meters all he wants, but his run meters are making absolutely zero impact on the Raiders and how they play. So, I don't care how many meters Rapana makes at fullback, he's making no impact with the Raiders at fullback. They're doing nothing with it. It's just not working. So, they got to change that ASAP because it's just not working. But some of the great players from the Knights Raiders game, Kalen Ponga, man, outstanding, 2 try assists, scored a great try. He was involved in a lot of things. He was outstanding. Anawi Chihuahua had his best game to date. He was terrific. Bradman Bess and Kurt Mann were very good. Hommel Hunt was a little bit quiet, couldn't really get involved. Jake Clifford was great for Newcastle, I thought. The Saifidi brothers were terrific. Jaden Brayley copped a really bad head knock. I'm surprised he came back on the field. I didn't think he'd come back on, but he did, which was a surprise. Tyson Frizzell was great. Barnett was solid. Sawasa Sue was okay. Connor Watson was good. David Clemmer and Josh King as well were very good. As for the Raiders, Rapana did have 211 metres, but he had no impact on the game whatsoever, so I don't care about that. Harley Smith-Shields, he's too busy shielding Rapana's cock, so he was shit. Sebastian Chris got dropped. Croker looks really slow and lethargic. Jack White was really poor in my opinion. Tarpany was good. Gula was good. Hodson was very good for the Raiders, I thought. Hudson Young played well. Harry Naira couldn't really get involved. Elliot Whitehead tried hard. Josh Papali was good. Matthew Tomoko, he was exposed as well, just like Sebastian Chris was in periods. And look, Canberra, they just weren't good enough. And, Newcastle showed some very good signs today without Mitchell Pearce. So, well done to Newcastle and a very good win. My top 3 players on ground for the Knights Raiders game today, I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go with Jake Clifford. Number 2, I'm going to go with Kalen Ponga. He was terrific. And number 1, my man of the match, I'm going to go with Anabi Chihuahua. 3 tries. Did a great job today for the Knights, so he gets my man of the match. Well, the Knights 34-24 win over the Raiders. Now, the game that we just saw, the grand final rematch, it was a pretty bad game. Melbourne dominated. It was Melbourne 37, Penrith 10. Not going to spend long on this game because it was pretty much one-sided from the get-go, and I'm pretty sure we all expected Melbourne to win this game well, considering Penrith have so many players out. But it all started off well for the Melbourne Storm. In the 10th minute, Remus Smith scored a try. I thought it might have been double movement, but he ended up scoring the first try of the game, so Melbourne go out to a 4-0 lead after 10 minutes gone. And then in the 12th minute, Dean Eremaira, pretty sure it was a kick from Adai Carl, which was a very good try. Melbourne 10-0 after 12 minutes. And then in the 18th minute, Dean Eremaira again scoring a double. There was talk about being an obstruction. Now, everyone knows I hate Felice Kafusi, but there was no obstruction there. Kick out went for a dive, and I'm glad the bunker got that one right. So it was a try to Dean Eremaira, however you pronounce his name. Melbourne 16-0 after 18 minutes. It's looking pretty bad for the Panthers. And then in the 36th minute, Ryan Pappenhausen kicks a penalty goal. Melbourne half-time, 18 points to 0. Penrith don't look like scoring a try at this point. They were looking quite disappointing, the Panthers. And then in the second half, more of the same. Melbourne just dominating. Try in the 53rd minute to Jesse Bromwich. A very soft try conceded. Melbourne just too good there. Jesse Bromwich scoring for the Storm. 62nd minute, Harry Grant from dummy half. A pretty simple try there from Harry Grant. Melbourne 30-0. And then 65th minute, Dean Eremira scores his hat-trick. First ever hat-trick, I believe it was. In the 65th minute, Melbourne 36-0. The game's over, as we know. And then in the 71st minute, Brent Naden try. Burton missed the goal. Melbourne 36-4. Scott Sorensen scores with 2 minutes to go. Melbourne 36-10. And then on the siren or so, Ryan Pappenhausen kicks a field goal from about 38. And the Melbourne Storm get the job done over the Penrith Panthers. 37 points to 10. Now, Penrith had a lot of players out. They did try hard in periods, but like I said, too many players out. Toto was out. Cleary was out. Fisher-Harris was out. Coruscant was out. Yo was out. That's half of their elite team gone. It's very hard to win without your best players, you know. When you play the best sides, you need your best players fit, and if they're not there, it just makes it very hard to win. But Melbourne, they are now I think they have the best for and against in the history of rugby league now. So, well done to them on that. But look, Melbourne, far too good for the Penrith Panthers. Too many injuries for them. And, you know, hopefully the Panthers can get back to full strength by finals time. And we can see Melbourne play Penrith and see who wins, because I reckon Penrith can beat Melbourne when they're fully fit. But unfortunately for them today, just too many players out, and they just weren't good enough. But my top 3 players on ground for the Storm versus Panthers game this afternoon, I'm going to go with number 3. I'm going to go with Harry Grant off the bench. I thought he was great. Number 2, I'm going to go with Dean Eremira. He was great. And number 1, my man of the match, I'm going to go with Jerome Hughes. He was very good today for the Melbourne Storm. So he gets my man of the match. But guys, that's it for the Sunday afternoon football review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys later tonight for the Sunday night football review between the Dragons and the Rabbitohs. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys later on.